Missouri's largest school district starts class today, but the St. Louis Public School District is facing several issues, including how their students can even get to school today.
So we've got some team coverage for you all this morning. Our Mercedes McKay is pressing officials for answers about the district's leadership and their financial situation.
But let's start with Diamond Palmer in downtown. Diamond, what did some families learn over the weekend?
Well, Michelle and Rennie, the bad news is some families learned over the weekend that some 3,000 students won't have a school bus ride to school this week. That's because the district's some 3 contractors actually told the district they were reducing the amount of school buses that they could provide due to bus driver shortages. So those of families affected, the district says, actually received gas cards so families could take their own children to school and pick them up. But the other side of this story is that some parents will have to put their students on public transportation. Now, we're live here in downtown St. Louis at one of the Metro Transit hubs. Students can either catch the bus here or the Metro Link, but also various stops around St. Louis that they can also do that. They're going to be riding the same routes that the general public will be riding. So on your screen, you can see here about 1,446 students will be riding public transit using public routes, like I said. And Metro Transit says most will be using the buses instead of Metro Link, with the busiest routes being along Grand, Kings Highway, Gravois, Lindell, and Dr. Martin Luther King. Buses will be running about every 12 to 20 minutes. And besides public transportation, about 6,200 students will be riding in private vans, cabs, and personal vehicles. Now, when I spoke to many parents about the private van option, they actually told me a little bit of information. They were telling me that these vans would consolidate stops and pick up children at one of the closest school bus stops that their children would have been riding if they were riding that school bus. But instead, they will be riding in private vans. So because of all of this, Metro Transit said they wanted to give some more information to families and students, so they released a video showing families how to ride public transportation if their students have never done so. The agency says it's also giving parents a free day pass for one day this week to help their students prepare for all of this. Now, of course, a big concern is the safety with public transportation. And so Metro Transit says if your child is riding this option and they have any concern with safety, they can always call the number 314-289-6873. And that number is on the bottom of your screen. However, we want to get right to Mercedes McKay this morning, who has more information about leadership concerns and financial troubles at the district. But she's also going to check in with district spokesperson George Sells.
Good morning, Diamond. That's exactly right. We're live outside of Vashon High School right now. I'm joined with George Sells with St. Louis Public School District. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning, George.
Absolutely.
First off, just want to ask you, how are y'all feeling heading into the school year?
Well, it's one of those things, you never lose, you learn. And we're going to start learning today this transportation system that we've been talking about. Obviously, we had to start from scratch back in March and have built this thing out. And today is the day we get to start seeing it in action. Today is the day we get to start learning about what's working well, the things that we can improve upon, and just going toward that goal of getting a little bit better every day. So that's the focus there. But the biggest focus, it's the first day of school. I mean, for educators, this is like Christmas morning. And we're so excited. We've got some 4,000 people, staff and teachers, who have been getting these buildings ready, getting their classrooms ready, and they're just excited about having students in their classrooms. That is the thing that everybody's talking about. I was over at a grade school last week talking to an art teacher. She said, you know, my room's ready, I got my lesson plans ready, I can't wait to go. And that's the attitude of our teachers. They're ready to get our students in there and get started with the business of learning. And that's what today is all about, is that first day of school, that excitement.
Over the summer, there were some things that popped up: financial instability, some leadership shakeups. We now have a new acting superintendent. What do you want to tell parents? I spoke with some yesterday. There are some worries about where the district is at right now. So tell me what you want to share with parents this morning about all that.
Well, it kind of speaks again to all those teachers and staff, those nearly 4,000 teachers and staff. They have been doing what they do every single year to get those classrooms ready, to get the schools ready, to be ready to greet greet these kids. Open arms. You know, the whole goal is for students to walk in here and the other 61 schools that we have on the first day and be received with warmth and love, and that's going to be there. And all those staff, all those teachers, they're doing what they do every year. This is nothing new. Nothing has changed for them. They're doing the great things that they do to educate kids, and that's why they're here. I mean, these are people who are built a little bit differently. There is a love for what they do, a love for these students that is unmatched, and they're excited to get going. And so what families need to know is that is who they are sending their children to today, are those same teachers, those same staff members that they've been sending them to every year and who always greet their students with open arms and have their best interests in mind. They want their students to be the best versions of themselves they could be. And today, first day of school, is where we start working on that.
Thanks so much, George. And we'll be back in our next half hour to talk more about what's happening here at Vashon High School. That first school bell rings at 7:15. Live in North St. Louis, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.